What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. So we're once again here with another new look rebuild, as today we have the Baltimore Ravens, who didn't do a ton this offseason, but like the Baltimore Ravens usually do, they had a fantastic draft. They also added D-Hop, so let's just go ahead and look at this Ravens roster, see what they're looking like, and do this Baltimore Ravens new look rebuild in Madden 25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. The Baltimore Ravens just had a, like I said, pretty quiet offseason for the most part, but they draft well pretty much every single time, it feels like, and they're going to be a good team regardless because Lamar Jackson exists. So in the third round, they drafted Emory Jones, and then the other two picks, I think, came on the defensive side of the ball, with obviously Mike Green slipping to them in the second round. And then Malachi Starks was a no-brainer pick here in the first round when he fell to them as well. Thought the Bengals might jump on him, but the Bengals decided against it. There were some mock drafts that had Starks to Cincinnati. Also, I just tried to use a roster that had every single rookie, and for whatever reason, when I would load into, I guess with the Ravens at least, I didn't try with any other team. When I would load that roster in here, it would always get rid of like Malachi Starks, and he would just be non-existent in the franchise mode. So I was like, okay, so I guess I have to keep using the one that only has 3 rounds completed so far, unfortunately. And as I mentioned, on the offense side of the football, obviously D-Hop was the addition to add opposite of Zay Flowers, and you still have Bateman. Like I said, the Ravens should be a good team. We're all very aware of that. There's been some rumors about Mark Andrews. Nothing has materialized when it comes to that. I am going to go ahead and start Malachi Starks right away, opposite of Kyle Hamilton, because I'm excited to see what those two can do together. But without further ado, we're just going to go ahead and simulate year number 1, and we're going to see how this Ravens team does. Obviously, the expectation is making the playoffs. That's what the Ravens should be. We should be a contender in this AFC. They have not been able to get over the hump, so let's go ahead and see if we can make that happen, as we will open up the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. So we'll see how it goes. So at the end of year 1, we literally almost went 17-0, which is pretty wild. Also forgot to mention, by the way, the roster I'm using is down in the description below if you want to find it. So yeah, you'll be able to find it there. I know someone's going to ask, but we just went 16-1 in year 1, which is pretty insane. Not what I ever expected to see. Again, I think I've gone 17-0 one time in a Madden rebuild, and it was with the Raiders, I think, in the last Madden, which was just very weird and surprising. I need to go find that video to remind myself why that team was so good, but I do remember it, because you have to remember something like that. Offensively, we were 30 in the NFL, and defensively, we were first in the NFL. Lamar Jackson threw 28 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, 16 touchdowns, and Lamar had 15 on the ground as well, and Henry rushed for 1,000 yards. Not the, like, 1,800 he ran for last year, whatever it was. Obviously, no 1,000-yard wide receivers, not what the Ravens usually do, but Andrews was pretty close with only 7 away. Defensively, sacks-wise, we had, we had 8.5 from Matabuke, 7 from Calvin Noy, 6 from Odafe, 5 from the rookie Mike Green, 2 from Roquan Smith, 2 from Travis Jones, and 1 from Simpson. 4 interceptions from Humphrey, 4 from Adu. I forgot to mention they added Chidobe Uzie. I don't know why I struggle to say his name. The Ravens, the Titans ended up waiving him. Forgot to mention that they signed him as well. Roquan with 2. Did we get one from Starks? No, we do not. So Malachi Starks does not add an interception, but how did he do this season? So, there he is. He had 44 tackles. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into divisional weekend, because obviously we get to sit the bye out. The wild card weekend out with the bye. The last time the Ravens had a bye, it didn't go so well. So we'll see if this time things will be different, as we get to play the Chiefs, who we open up the season against. So we'll see how this goes. I will jump in here, and hopefully we can take out the Kansas City Chiefs to get to the AFC Championship in year 1 after we just went 16-1. So Mahomes versus Lamar Jackson, 2 guys that have met plenty of times. I think a couple times in the playoffs already. Maybe just, was it one? I feel like they've only met, maybe it has been twice. It was like at least once, obviously, in the AFC Championship game last year, as it's a 3-3 game so far, and we so far only field goals for both teams. We finally get a touchdown on the board. Yes, 6-10, and they take the lead. The Ravens always seem to struggle against the Chiefs, so this is kind of not surprising to see. It's 20-17 with 38 seconds left. I'm going to see if I can't come out here and clutch up for us really quickly, because I don't really want to waste this 16-1 season. That seems kind of, honestly, it would suck, right? Like, that would just be really unfortunate. So, thankfully, we have speedy Lamar Jackson who can get the edge here, and I'm going to... Honestly, that was a big gamble I just took, but staying in bounds there. But I thought I was going to be able to do something there for a second. But all good. So, nice play to start things off. I don't know why we're doing play action. They're probably not going to fall for any play action right now. Let's go bench swap. Let's see if they leave, like, Zay Flowers open. Oh, my gosh. This was not a good throw by me. Honestly, lucky that McDuffie or whoever that guy was just watching the ball fall to the ground didn't just pick that off the tip, because that was definitely possible for him to do that. But let me lock in, because that was a really bad throw. Should never have thrown that ball. I don't know what I was seeing there, but that's how bad I am at Madden sometimes. All right, let's be better. So we still have the opportunity for a field goal, like I mentioned. So let's see what we got going on here. I think they're going to leave Andrews open enough here. Andrews does make the catch, so we're out of bounds with 21 seconds left. So that's awesome. I am still going to run some let's come out of this. So let's go 4 verts, and let's see if they leave like likely open or something like that. Or can we just let's just scramble this upfield again. So let's get out of bounds. We got a couple plays maybe before we have to just settle for tying this game, but we're going to try to not tie the game. We're going to try to win here off a touchdown. I would love to see them leave likely open on the corner, but don't know if we'll get that lucky. Oh, Andrews is left wide open, and he gets in. 12 seconds left. I possession that one. I wasn't sure if he'd get across the goal line, but Andrews left open, and we win 24-20. I really didn't want to waste a 16-1 season out of the gate. That sounded pretty horrible to do. So we finally take out the Chiefs, the team that has given the Ravens plenty of problems in the past, and we'll move on to the AFC Championship. And now we get to play the team that actually eliminated the Ravens last year in the postseason in the Divisional. Buffalo Bills versus Baltimore Ravens. Mark Andrews, you need some redemption here for what you did on that 2-point conversion as we go up 3-0 and get an interception from the rookie, and we're up 6-0. Would have loved to see an interception or a touchdown off that interception, because just like that, the Bills have the lead even after all that. But we'll take it back 13-7. They take it, and we get the ball after half here, or they did. We take the lead 16-14. And we will, not score. We get a huge interception from Marlon Humphrey, though. 3 timeouts remain for them, so if we hang on to this ball, we're moving on. So just like that, a 16-14 victory leads us to the Super Bowl in year 1 after a 16-1 season. So that was awesome. It looked like we were about to choke there at the end, but thankfully defense holds up. We're moving on to the Super Bowl. So here we are in the Super Bowl in literally year number 1, and we actually get to play the Green Bay Packers, who may have just gotten exciting news about maybe Jair Alexander staying a Green Bay Packer. There's been conversations about that, I guess, between him and the Packers, but I don't care about that. I'm here to win a damn Super Bowl. Let's see if we can't take out the Packers here, as they will go up 7-0, but we will respond as well. But so far, they've had no problem scoring on our number 1 ranked defense. 14-14, 18 seconds left in the second quarter. There is a timeout, so low key, I want to see if I can't come out here and make something happen with this timeout that we have at our disposal, because I don't know, man. There's plenty of time here. I feel like we could maybe make something happen here with Lamar Jackson. So 17 seconds left. Low key, that had a chance. But unfortunately just not. Yeah, I mean, that was a tough throw, don't get me wrong, but it just wasn't on target for what we want. So, all right. Let's see if we see anything better. I don't really. Honestly, I'm kind of glad I got hit. 3rd and 10. So it's 14-14. We might have to just stick with 14-14, but we'll try one last play before half is over. 3rd and 10. I'll throw Bateman on the go route and see if they allow him to just get open downfield. I think they actually will. So they're going to give me a touchdown before half in the Super Bowl. So that is beautiful. So we'll celebrate with that. Don't know why that play is so broken sometimes, but I love taking advantage of it. So 21-14, Rashad Bateman scores touchdown in the Super Bowl before the half is over. So now we go in with a nice lead. Can we score again after the half? Yes, 28-14. So 2-possession lead. The Packers will score and go for 2, though. And if we give them the ball back, which we do not, so we're going to win a Super Bowl in year 1. So just like that, a 28-22 victory in year number 1. With a Super Bowl trophy coming to Baltimore. First time since the Joe Flacco win, obviously, from, I don't remember what year that was, but it was against the Niners, obviously. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. I'm obviously only kidding. We're going to continue to go here. That was only 1 season, and I did literally nothing. So 28-22 victory for us in the Super Bowl. So now it is time to figure out what we're going to do this offseason. We have $80 million in cap space, but I know with the Baltimore Ravens, we have to be very careful, because next year we'll have like no money at all. I've ran into that problem before when it comes to the Ravens, so we're not going to go crazy here. But obviously Kyle Hamilton, because we need to resign guys like Hamilton and Linderbaum, which is why in free agency we won't be going crazy. Ronnie Stanley, who should be on a multi-year deal for whatever reason, is a free agent, so we're going to bring him back to the table. So yeah, that one makes sense. So Stanley's back. Darius Washington, DeAndre Hopkins. We're probably going to have to let the rest of these guys walk. I think I might bring back our Darius Washington, but Awuzie I probably would let go. So I'm going to bring our Darius Washington back to be a backup still, like his role here. Awuzie, I wouldn't mind him. I'll give him a 1-year deal, and if he wants to sign that, he says no. That's fine. So Awuzie is going to be gone, although I appreciate him for what he did this season for us. D-Hop, he'd probably be relatively cheap if I had to guess. A 1-year deal, I don't hate that. He's going to come back, so we don't have to worry about a wide receiver. So that leaves us $40 million in cap space. Again, I'm not going to go crazy in free agency because I know I'm very aware that next year we have to resign Linderbaum and Hamilton, or maybe not next year, but eventually we'll have to resign those guys, and it's going to get expensive. Hamilton, Superstar X Factor, stud safety, that's going to get a lot of money. So this is what it's looking like now. So now you have Rosengarten, Falele, so this O-line is looking fantastic. You have Andrews up to an X Factor, Bateman, Hop, and Zay Flowers. So to me, this offense probably doesn't need to be touched. The offensive line's gotten, improved enough as well that we're cool with this. So offensively, we won't touch anything. Defensively, although we are #1 defense, we could use like a corner. Obviously, we could use a free safety, or sorry, not free safety, a D tackle. I don't know why I confused free safety with D tackle, but I did. Mike Green obviously is a replacement to Calvin Noy when he's ready to sit down. Roquan Smith's a stud. So I think if anything, I'd probably just jump in the draft and draft a D tackle and a corner if I can. So we'll look in free agency just in case to see if there's any like bargain guys we could bring in. We can still sign 1-year deals too. So there's Slay on a 1-year deal, which I don't hate the idea of that. Awuzie is here. Cooper, Blackman. So is there a D tackle worth signing though? There usually isn't. Tyreek Williams, who should never be waived. I forgot who he got drafted to. Oh man, I can't remember at the top of my head, but I think I'm gonna probably just draft a D tackle. So I think I am gonna go sign Darius Slay though. Why not, right? If he's interested, we can give him a 1-year deal. I don't know how interested he'd be in a 1-year deal, but that's my hope to bring him in on. So let's give him a 1-year contract. 34 years old, but can still play. And big play Slay joins the Ravens, and he says no. He goes back to Detroit, which actually I don't hate that for him. That does make sense. So I don't hate that. That's fine. I'll give Awuzie a contract offer again, but my expectation is he won't sign it. Yeah, so we're not even close to the conversation. But Slay, I think there were some rumors about Slay playing for Baltimore a long time ago, but unfortunately, he goes back to Detroit, which I don't hate. So we actually are going to stay quiet in free agency and just head to the draft and draft well like the Ravens do. And I got to make sure we have our full plethora of draft picks because 2025 is not 2026, and that's technically we're in the 2025 season, but I'm pretty sure the Ravens hold all their draft picks. I don't think they've done any crazy trades, but let me just double check that, and I'll see you guys in the draft for 2026. So yeah, nothing to worry about here as far as extra picks for the Ravens. So let's just go ahead and try to hit on every single pick that we can. We are picking obviously extremely late, so that does, hurt us a little bit, but that's what you get for winning the Super Bowl. So let's go see what we got going on. So a corner has already got off the board. D tackle or corner is probably where I'm kind of looking right now, so we'll see if we can get one of those. So Drew Aller still on the board, but we have James Smith out of Alabama or DJ Hicks out of Texas A&M. So there's a couple interior D linemen that I think we'll take a look at. So let's just see which one we'd rather have. James Smith, A block shedding, A finesse moves, A power moves, A tackle. Out of Alabama, 21 years old, run stopper, speed is great. He looks phenomenal so far. I'm liking what I'm seeing with him, so might jump on him. But let's look at DJ Hicks as well. Kind of the same thing. Speed is solid, but I think we're going to take the other one. So we're going to take the other D tackle to start things off in round 1. Give ourselves another body there in James Smith. So James Smith, welcome to Baltimore, will be the first pick, 32nd overall for us, and he will be a 46 in true value. Hidden Dev, 76 speed, D tackle. Welcome to the Ravens, my friend. Very happy to have you. Now, let's go to pick 64, and this is where I'm hoping to land a corner if we can. So let's see if there is that kind of option. Terrell just went off the board, but if we could still draft like a a young dev or superstar dev corner, or sorry, not superstar, but a speedy corner, that would be awesome. So we have Smith Snowden out of Utah, Delane out of LSU. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these guys. Smith Snowden, speed is elite, so I already like what I'm seeing there. Honestly, I don't even think I want to look any further. I'm going to go ahead and take Smith Snowden here in round 2. We see elite speed and we jump on that. Only normal dev, but he's a 96 speed corner. Gotta like that. The coverage could be better, but I'm sure he'll improve with all these great defenders around him. So nothing to be discouraged about there. And then round 3, we could probably just kind of go wherever we want to go with this because we have starters everywhere. A running back for the future wouldn't be a horrible idea, with Derrick Henry maybe being gone eventually. But we have another corner option at Ole Miss, and Antonio Kite. B-man, C-zone, speed is good. Okay, maybe you could look at that. But we have Eugene Wilson, which I don't hate the idea. Okay, so we could take, or there's Darius Taylor on Minnesota. Let's see what he's looking like. Speed is solid. Okay, if I was seeing a lead, I might have pulled the trigger. But let's take a look at these other 3 options. So Eugene Wilson out of Florida. Catching speed is great. So great speed for Eugene Wilson. Might need a wide receiver, obviously, to take over when D-Hop is gone. So I don't hate the idea of taking a wide receiver here. Speed is solid. We might draft Eugene Wilson, but let me look at the lane before I pull the trigger. If he's good, might take another corner. Speed is great. I think I am going to take Eugene Wilson, though. Eugene Wilson will be the pick here. Could be our potential D-Hop replacement. So seed catching, speed is great. Welcome to Baltimore here in round 3. And that will be our draft. So normal dev, 93 speed. So not a hidden dev by any means, but still should be a good player. And I will see you guys with the lineup going into year number 2. We obviously didn't add much through free agency because we are ready to sign some big extensions coming up. But eventually this team is going to be very expensive, which is why we didn't. And now let's go take a look at the lineup going to year 2 and hope that we can go back to back. So here's what it's looking like going into next season. So Eugene Wilson's only a 73 overall, which isn't horrible. We'll take that. Keaton Mitchell, you have Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson. Offensive line still looking good. Bateman, Zay Flowers. So that all looks fantastic. Defensively, we have Smith, who's a 76 overall, which is great. And then we had Snowden, who's a 74 overall corner. Like I said, the hope is he'll improve throughout the season with all these good players in the secondary with him. So we'll see how that goes. And then that's basically all we really added. So I will see you guys at the end of this season. Everything is going to stay exactly the same. We went 16-1, so I don't really see the need to change anything. Let's go ahead and hope we make the playoffs again and go back-to-back Super Bowl victories. So it's not the 16-1 that we went last year, but we did make the playoffs at 10-7. So definitely a dip from where we were, but we'll still take it as Marlon Humphrey was second in interception. Shout out to my boy Quan Martin leading the league in interceptions. Would love to see that. But offensively, 7th in the NFL, which is what you'd hope out of a Ravens offense. And defensively, we were 9th in the NFL. So both sides of the ball were still pretty good. 20-7 from Lamar, 20 touchdowns and 900 yards, and 10 from Lamar as well. Still no 1,000-yard wide receivers, which we know. And then sacks-wise, we had 15.5 from Adabuke, who continues to dominate. 5.5 from Benoit. 5 from Roquan Smith. 4.5 from the rookie. And then interceptions we saw with Humphrey. Wiggins with 3. Roquan Smith with 2. And 2 from our Darius Washington. But we get to play your division rival, the Bengals. So the Bengals won the division at 13-4, so we have to go to Paycor Stadium. So let's go ahead and see if we can't take out our division foe in wildcard weekend. So Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson. Let's see how this is about to go. Have these two met up in the playoffs? I don't think they have, because the last time they played each other, Tyler Huntley was starting. I could be wrong, though. I just don't remember if they have or not. We're up 7-0. They get interception, and they don't do anything with it. So far, our defense is playing extremely well until now. And we will go up 10-7. Go with the ball after half and go up 17-7. W. But the Bengals are not ready to... Yep, 24-17. And that's all she wrote. So we're going to beat the Bengals in wildcard weekend. So it does not matter that they get home field advantage. We are moving on to the divisional weekend. So let's go see if we can win in divisional round again, just like last year. It's also literally the same matchup as last year as we run into Mahomes and the Chiefs again. I think last year we were at home, obviously. This time we're at Arrowhead, so we find ourselves on the road again, which is probably going to be the theme throughout these playoffs for us. As they go up 7-0, but we get a field goal, and so far they are taking it to us, and we are in a lot of trouble. So we have 5 seconds left in the second quarter. Let me see if I can steal a touchdown with the cheesy shot Hail Mary clock. So we'll throw Mr. D-Hop on his go route, and we'll see if they just decide to leave him open. Sometimes this doesn't work, and sometimes it does. I'm going to give D-Hop a chance. Does he have the position? No. Good defense by the Chiefs. So we'll be down 14-3 at half, which does suck. We're going to need a strong second half to, have the three-peat stay alive. But the Chiefs are no joke, obviously. So we'll see how it goes as they get the ball to start things off, too, in the second half. And they will not do anything with it. We'll get the ball. Or, no, I guess they did. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what happened. But it looks like our reign is coming to an end here as far as, going back-to-back or three-peating. So, unfortunately, 3-24 does not get it done for us. We're going to be eliminated in divisional weekend. At least we got the one Super Bowl in year 1. But we can still try for a second Super Bowl in year 3. So, let's get to the offseason and get back to work. So pretty much the same amount of cap space we literally had last year, which is why I did not go crazy in free agency for a reason. So let's see who are all the free agents we have to worry about. So we have Mark Andrews, Zay Flowers, just a fifth-year option, thankfully. We have Odafe, who always leaves in free agency. Derrick Henry's a free agent. Isaiah Likely's a free agent. Travis Jones, a free agent. And, Falele's a free agent. Yeah, there's a lot of good free agents here, as you guys can see. So this is going to be an interesting offseason to worry about. So Mark Andrews, I think we have to choose one or the other between Likely and Andrews. And I do think you probably still have to choose Andrews, although Likely probably be cheaper, funny enough. So I might let Andrews go and resign Likely. I think that might, well, let's see. 7.8. So let's see how much Andrews was going to cost. Yeah, to me, it's just, I think we have to let Andrews walk, which sucks because I don't want to, but Likely is going to be much cheaper. And we can't go crazy in this free agency period, like I said, because you still have to resign Kyle Hamilton and Linderbaum next year, which is going to be big contracts to give out. So yeah, Andrews is going to have to be let go. Odafe, probably going to have to let him go as well. He doesn't have an interest in coming back here anyway. Travis Jones, I'd like to keep. Falele might be gone. But yeah, so let's try to get Travis Jones to sign, but would not surprise me if he decides against it. He says no. That's another guy we might be losing. Henry, how much does he want? He actually doesn't want that much money, so thankfully we can get him back on a 2-year deal. That doesn't cost us a lot. Falele will be the other option I would try to bring back, but we'll see if he's willing to sign this kind of deal. And he does sign. Okay, we're going to lose Andrews, Odafe, and Travis Jones, Keaton Mitchell, D-Hop. So yeah, we're losing quite a bit of talent. We will not deny that, so that sucks. But let's get to stage 1, and we're probably gonna have to replace these guys through the draft because cap space is very limited. If we start restructuring contracts, we could be in trouble next offseason. So let's take a look at the lineup with things kind of disappearing a little bit. So the offense really didn't get touched because Eugene Wilson was drafted for a reason to step up this year. We obviously don't have Keaton Mitchell anymore, which does suck. Likely is our new tight end with Andrews gone. So we lost, some talent on offense. Don't get me wrong. But the offensive line is going to remain the same. And Eugene Wilson's going to be the guy to step up at that wide receiver 3 spot. Defensively, we obviously lost our D-tack or our end, and we need a pass rusher. So we have Kyle Van Noy retiring on us, but corners looks fine. So we need a pass rusher, and we need a D or a right end or a D tackle, either one. So we'll have to figure it out, but let's see if there's maybe one player we can sign in free agency, whether it's a lineman or a pass rusher. So let's see. So Andrews, Odafe, we got Romeo Dubs, we got Rasheed Walker, Jaquan Brisker, Ivan Pace, Terrell Bernard, Van Ginkel. Okay, so let's go take a look at, like I said, pass rushers. So left end, Hargrave, Eric Armstead. You have Reeder, Grover Stewart, Malik Collins, and you have Travis Jones, which honestly my ideal thing would just be to resign Travis Jones. He has no offers right now, so I do think we could actually get him back if I had to guess. So I'm going to give him a contract offer. It's only a neutral offer. It is quite expensive, but I would like to keep him if possible. Some teams probably going to come in and offer him maybe a little bit more, but he is going to choose us. So Travis Jones is going to be the only thing we do. $5 million in cap space remaining right now, but we're going to jump into the draft here in just a second. Is there any obvious cuts on this team really quickly to look at? Let's take a look there. So Humphrey has to be resigned too. Forgot to mention Stanley cannot be resigned next year. Bateman. So yeah, there's no obvious cuts here unless we traded like Stanley or Humphrey, which I'm not going to do because I want to win a Super Bowl in year 3. So yeah, we're in a tough spot, but we'll go into the draft and we will just do what we can in the draft to replace maybe some of those positions we'll be worried about. So maybe drafting a left tackle could be important here. And then maybe getting another corner could be something we look into as well. We're not going to be able to re-sign Hamilton, Humphrey. It's going to be tough. We'll be picking at 26th overall. So let's go ahead and see what we could do in this 2027 draft. We have... Oh, whoops. Did not mean to burp on you. I apologize. But we have... Excuse me, I should say. We have Ethan O'Connor out of Miami. We have Lucas Simmons. So immediately I'm looking at some tackle options because we have to see the writing on the wall with maybe Stanley being gone next year. But Ethan O'Connor... What's he? So he has speed, great. Okay, so he looks fine and all, but I do think taking an offensive lineman might be in our best interest here. So Lucas Simmons out of Florida State. Speed's decent, but the skills look pretty solid. So he could be the Stanley replacement, maybe. And then Malik Agbo out of Texas. Let's look at him too before we make a decision. So A impact blocking, speed is solid. I think I'm going to take the other one. So we're going to take the left tackle out of Florida State. So Lucas Simmons, welcome to Baltimore. You look very similar to Eugene Wilson, but happy to have you regardless. Hidden dev, left tackle starter, probably in next year's season. but also just depth off the bench for us. So we'll take him. And then we got to look probably towards a pass rusher in round 2. So round 2, I'd like to replace Odafe if we can. We have TJ Moore. And we have Damon Wilson on Missouri, which this is actually looking kind of perfect. Speed rusher. I would, love it even more if he had elite speed, but it's great speed. So we will take Damon Wilson here. Actually has some coverage skills as well. Damon Wilson, 99 true value, but hidden dev, 85 speed linebacker. Happy to have him. And then round 3, I'm going to probably try to take a corner if we can, if there's a good one to take. And we'll be ready for the lineup going into year 3. So year 3, pick 90 overall. We have a running back, which actually doesn't sound like a horrible idea because we don't know what Derrick Henry's future is going to look like. We could take Jackson Howard, or we could take Kalen Lee. So we'll look at both Williams and Kalen Lee really quickly. So Auburn corner, B press, B zone, B catching. Speed is great. I'm actually going to go ahead and take Kalen Lee here because I actually like some of those grades we see on him. 142 true value, 90, only normal dev, but still a corner nonetheless. So let's go take a look at the lineup for year 3. And hopefully we can bounce back from where we were from year 1 because year 2 did not go so great. So here's what the lineup is looking like going into year number 1, or sorry, year 3. I don't know why I was about to say year 1. So Simmons, okay, I was kind of confused. It looked like we had multiple offensive linemen, but it's just Simmons, who's a 77 overall out of the gate, which is awesome. So he'll be playing off the bench this year. Connor is our backup. Bateman, Eugene Wilson, Zay Flowers. We have Walker as well. Defensively, we added Damon Wilson, who I guess will not crack the... I mean, I would like him to start opposite of Mike Green if possible. So I think I'm going to move that around. And then the corner we drafted was a 73 overall, so not too bad. He'll have to, maybe beat Tampa out. We'll see. As far as... Whoops. I want to change the scheme here for a second because we went down last year. So I'm going to see if this will change anything. I'm going to leave the playbooks the same. So we'll go base 3-4. Obviously, that's what we're running, or the formation we have right now. And then I'm gonna move Damon Wilson to the other side. So Mike Green is a left outside. So I assume Damon Wilson was also left outside. I wasn't paying attention to that. Or is he right? Well, I mean, he shouldn't be. I mean, he probably is listed at left outside considering he's coming off the bench right now. But yeah, so we're gonna move him to right outside. We'll have him start opposite of Mike Green, and we're gonna hope that we can bounce back and win the division again this year because we didn't win the division last year. We still won the road game in the first round, but still would like to have home field advantage throughout the playoffs again. That would be ideal. So Damon Wilson, I'm going to start, and we will simulate this season, and we'll hope that things go much better. So let's go ahead, see what happens, and I will see you all at the end of year 3. One Super Bowl has been done already, but I'm looking to add another one. So we do win our division this year as we get the home playoff game, and we get to play our division foe once again in the first round. That is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. So that's probably the Ravens' biggest, foe, obviously, or biggest op, whatever you want to say. So let's take a look at the stats. Offensively, 11th in the NFL, which is what we expect to see. And defensively, we were 30 in the NFL. So bounce backs, which is nice. 23-9 from Lamar, 18-15 from Henry and Lamar there as well. Zay Flowers finally cracks 1,000 yards for this team. Likely was really good at that tight end spot with Andrews gone. Eugene Wilson stepping up this year, 5 touchdowns, 600 yards. Sacks-wise, Mike Green as a starter stepped up big time. 7 from James Smith, our rookie from last year. 5.5 from Simpson. 4.5 from Matabuke. Damon Wilson only had 1.5 sacks, but still, we'll take that. 4 from Nate Wiggins, 3 from Roquan Smith, and 2 from Starks. But let's go ahead, jump in, and play the Steelers in round 1, and let's go see if we can't go on another deep playoff run here. So who do the Steelers have starting at quarterback? Because one of the young QBs from the other draft classes, I have no idea. It might be like Lenore Sellers or Taylon Green or something. I'm not sure. But we will... Okay, so 0-0 so far. And we will start with a field goal lead, but the Steelers will respond to that. We get a touchdown. No, the Steelers might score the first touchdown of the game, and they do. We are in trouble right now. It is 10-3, and wow. That game just went so quickly, it's not even funny. So the Steelers are going to beat us 10-3 in wildcard weekend. I really don't want to end it off on that note, to be honest with you. That was pretty brutal. Lenore Sellers was the starter, in fact, but damn, we did nothing in those playoffs. Very disappointing, but I know we have a very challenging offseason ahead of us because there's going to be a ton of guys that have to be re-signed, but I've kind of been hinting at that, and I'm ready to take on the challenge and see how brutal we'll be going into next year with maybe losing some talent, so we'll see. So we're going to this offseason with about $53 million in cap space, and I knew this was going to be a challenging offseason, which is why we have not been aggressive in free agency, by the way. This is what it's been building towards, and this is what I've been talking about. So Let's see if there's any obvious cuts. Like we could cut Lamar and save 3.5 million. Obviously, we're not going to do that. Roquan Smith. So yeah, there's no obvious cuts here. I mean, the only thing you could really do is you could cut Lamar and save money. But again, I'm not going to do that. So is there any like restructures we can do? There's Ruben Owens, Lee, but no, really not. I mean, no, we can't restructure a rookie, I don't think. So we are in trouble, man. So again, we're going to lose some talent this offseason. So it's just a matter of who we're choosing to let walk. So Kyle Hamilton, to me, is a non-starter. We have to bring him in. Like, there's no negotiation about that. Same thing with Linderbaum. And then Wiggins is a fifth-year option, thankfully. Simpson, Ardarius Washington, Stanley, which we were prepared for that one. Okay, so let's start with Kyle Hamilton and Linderbaum, because those are two guys that obviously, to me, are no-brainers. You bring in Kyle Hamilton, you don't let him go. So Humphrey is going to have to be let go. Hamilton is going to be franchise tagged, which thankfully, he only costs $19 million. So we're not letting him walk. Same thing with Linderbaum, who often I see hits free agency, but I'm hoping we don't allow that to happen here, and he will stick around. So Linderbaum signs back. So Humphrey, we're probably going to have to let go, unfortunately, which does suck, unless if we decide... Okay, so would we rather have... Okay, so this will be interesting. Do we want to sign Humphrey? And that's all... Well, we don't even have enough money, so never mind on that. So Rashad Bateman, how much does he want? It would be... Wow, we'd have literally no money left if we did Bateman. Okay, Trenton Simpson. We could bring in Trenton Simpson back, which I think I'm going to do. We'll keep Simpson around. Just kidding. He says no. So that leaves us with $17 million in cap space. Washington will probably have to let go. All right. We're going to lose some talent here, which I was prepared for. I knew it was coming, which is why we've done what we have throughout the video so far. So let's see if we can't replace that with what we have. We have $25 million in cap space, so maybe someone retired. I don't know why our money jumped up, but or maybe it's because the cap jumps up. I don't know. But Simmons is now going to start, so this is your new O-line. Eugene Wilson's your new wide receiver, and Walker is your third wide receiver. And then you have Henry and Owens, which probably gonna have to be okay with that. And then defensively, this is where we lost a little bit of talent as well. So Snowden's your new second corner. Wiggins now our number one corner. Middle linebacker is now gone, but I mean, you could maybe move Wilson in there because he can cover, and then you could move Isaac to pass rush. I don't know. We'll have to see. But we knew this offseason was coming. So let's go see if there's any free agents we can sign, and then we'll just draft. So $25 million is still a couple, still good enough to sign a couple players. So Humphrey does have interest coming back, but that would be all our money just gone. So there's George Karlaftis, but I don't know if we'll have enough. We could make it one impact signing with Karlaftis, and then move Damon Wilson to inside linebacker, and then we draft a wide receiver, I guess. There is a lot of good well, there's only Bateman and Shakir. I am going to try to see if I can get George Karlaftis as our big addition, because we could put him, well, we're going to have to give him a neutral offer, unfortunately, because we have no money. But let's see if he will sign with us. So Karlaftis, we're in there, but there's no guarantee we land him, and he doesn't choose us. So, okay, so we have to pivot. So we don't get Karlaftis. That was worth a shot. Do we just re-sign Bateman, and that's one less thing we have to worry about at wide receiver? I think that might be a good option to try on. So I'm going to bring Bateman back because there really isn't... Well, the Bengals are trying to land him now. So let me see if I come in a little bit harder on Bateman. And okay, so we'll be able to get him, it looks like, hopefully. Middle linebacker. Is there anybody worth signing? Simpson's still here. Do we have enough for him? No, not quite. Or is there like... Can we get Micah McFadden, maybe? Or, I mean, I'll offer him a contract. He could be somebody, I guess. So, McFadden and Rashad Bateman, the two additions, and we'll draft, and we get them. Okay, so we replace a couple positions, but there's still a little bit more we need to address in the draft. So, corner is still a problem with Humphrey leaving us, but we knew it was coming. So, Bateman, Wilson. So, the offense we won't touch. Running back needs to be replaced eventually, but Derrick Henry has 1 year left in his deal. So corner is going to be the number one priority jumping into this draft. So let's go see if we can't get ourselves a corner, and we'll be ready for year 4. All right, so round 1, DeMarco Tompkins goes already, which would have been somebody I was kind of looking for, but, he was not going to fall to us ever. So we have Trent Richardson. We have a couple quarterback options, but we have Zach Holmes out of Tennessee or Terrence Watkins out of Penn State. So probably going to be looking at either one of these guys. As long as one of them has elite speed, probably where we'll go with this. Even if they don't, probably still got to take one of them anyway. So Terrence Watkins out of Penn State. B-man, B-zone. Speed is great. So he is 5'11", though, I think I saw. So how tall is the other one? We do have Rosenthal here as 2 out of Rice. Nigel Rosenthal. That's a cool name. Elite speed. Give me that. So we'll take Rosenthal here to replace Humphrey. 11 in true value, 95 speed, hidden depth corner. I think we nailed that one. That's what we needed. I'm going to let the assistant GM draft the rest, and I will see you guys with the lineup for year number 4. So I think regardless of what happens this year, this will be the final season. So let's go ahead and take a look at the lineup. So again, offensively, we didn't change much. We added a new hidden depth tight end through the draft from our assistant GM, which is awesome. Defensively, we added, like I said, Rosenthal, who's a 76 overall right away, which is great. And then we have Walden here, or Walton, I guess, backing up Malachi Stark. So things will stay the same as far as scheme is concerned. So let's just go ahead and simulate year number 4. Let's see if we find ourselves back in the playoffs, and hopefully we can win our second Super Bowl of the video, but it might be tough. We shall see. So 13-4 on the season, but someone in our division outclassed us as the Bengals tied it, I guess. So that's why we didn't win the division, unfortunately. So offensively, 16 NFL, so maybe it took a little bit of a step back, maybe with not having a great running game. Defensively, we were good, though, so we'll take that. Lamar threw 4 interceptions this year, 16-12 from our running duo, Eugene Wilson, close to 1,000 yards, and then likely Flowers, Bateman. So all 800-yard wide receivers with 4 guys, which is nice. Matabuke was great. Mike Green continues to be good. And then James Smith was great too. So very good stuff out of all that. And then here was your interceptions. Not a whole lot of turnovers via interceptions, but Rosenthal is what? He is a star depth corner. So I would have loved to have seen superstar, but all good. All right, let's jump in and play the... Who are we playing again? I forgot already. It's going to be the Chiefs. Okay, so familiar territory. So let's jump in and see if we can't take out the Chiefs at Arrowhead. I believe we're tied 1-1 with the Chiefs in this particular video, so let's see who gets the one best of 3 as we get a nice interception from Micah McFadden, as it is a snowy game, by the way. 7-0, and we get another interception, 14-0, 14-7. Can we go up 21? 17-7 looks good, too. All right, keep the foot on the pedal, but the Chiefs are slowly climbing back if we don't score here, and they will take, or they're going to tie it. 17-17, a minute 19 left in the 4th. And we're in great field position, and that's all she wrote. So we're going to beat them 20-17 in wildcard week, and I have no idea what happened with that punt, or did we turn it over, or did they turn it over? I have no idea why we had such great field position there, but I'm not even going to question it. Let's get to the divisional round. And now to play our divisional foe, once again, the Cincinnati Bengals in Paycor Stadium. We were able to beat them earlier in the playoffs, so let's see if we can't do that again, as an interception from Nate Wiggins to start the game goes in our favor, scoring off a turnover. It's 7-0 to this point, 14-0. And the Bengals have no answer for our defense so far, and our offense is up 2 possessions. And another interception, 21-0, another interception. So Joe Burrow is just having a horrible day on the field right now. They score with 2 seconds left in the game, but that's all she wrote. We're moving on to the AFC Championship. And now we get to play a team that the Ravens are somewhat familiar with in the playoffs, as the Titans and Ravens had a couple battles there, obviously. Derrick Henry gets to play his former team. Cam Ward's a new starter, obviously, in Tennessee. But this is the biggest stage of them all in the AFC Championship as we go up 7-0. 14-0 start. Cam Ward may not be ready for the moment, and we're up 21-0. So far, things are going in our way. And despite losing a bunch of talent this offseason, it's not going to matter. We have still punched our ticket back to the Super Bowl. Interceptions, and the defense is just causing havoc this postseason, getting plenty of turnovers, and now we punch our ticket to the Super Bowl. So let's go see if we can't win our second one of the video. So here we are in the Super Bowl to end off the video, and of course, it's not a Madden Rebuild video on this channel, and probably for other people too, without the Philadelphia Eagles eventually being here, and that's in fact who we're playing. So we start off with the Super Bowl in this video. Can we end off with the Super Bowl in this video? And so far it's 7-0, but we will get a field goal and an interception. Again, our defense continues to cause turnovers as we're up 10-7. They tie it. Third quarter tied game, and we got ourselves a close one, but we need Lamar Jackson to be clutch here to tie it. I don't think he is going to be. 35 seconds left. Can we go out here and tie this game? Actually, at this point, we'd be going for 2, I guess, if we did that. So we have no timeouts, so we have to keep that in mind. But obviously, the hope is we're able to get in touchdown territory. So I don't know. It's going to be tough, but we're going to throw this one to Bateman. He's going to have to get nice. I don't know if we're going to be able to get downfield, though. Let's see. Do we have enough time to spike this? Let's see if we have enough. We do. All right. We have a chance. 10 seconds left. So Rashad Bateman with a great catch. But now we need to score again here. So we're going to continue to rely on old reliable Eugene Wilson, Bateman, Zay Flowers. I need one of you to get open in the end. Oh my gosh, maybe. Yes, it's there. Okay. We can tie the game, or you guys know what we do next. We are going to go for 2. We are going to try to win this game in regulation, avoid overtime, and we'll see if we can't make it work. So, there's not traditional stick, I guess, in this playbook, but we'll go Y stick. We'll go with it. So, Likely or Christie, I need you guys to be elite. Please make the catch. Please. Oh my gosh. I literally did a fadeaway. I was trying to scribble to the right, but thankfully Christie makes the catch, and all we need to do now is hold on defense, and we do just that. So just like that, we will win the Super Bowl 18-17. So we started the video with the Super Bowl, and we're in the video with the Super Bowl. But a beautiful way, and this honestly is probably my favorite rebuild that I've done in quite some time, even though the Ravens don't particularly need it. So thank you guys for watching. I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.